In this video, we'll be working on another rate word problem. If 5 workers can do one job in 8 days, how many workers would it take to do 3 jobs in 7 days? Now for this problem, we need to use the idea that rate times time times number of workers equals the number of jobs done. We also need to make the assumption, and I know we're not supposed to assume anything, but for this problem we need to make the assumption that all of the workers are working at the same rate. So let's solve this equation for rate and get an equation that we can use for our problem. In order to get rate by itself, we need to divide both sides of the equation by the time and by the number of workers. Now notice this is multiplication here. All of this is multiplication. So divide here also by the number of workers. So now time cancels here and number of workers cancel here. And we have rate is equal to the number of jobs done, that goes in the numerator, and then in the denominator we multiply the time with the number of workers. All right, so for our problem, we actually have just 2 pieces to this problem. And the first piece, 5 workers can do one job in 8 days. This first piece gives us the rate. So we need to write that in our equation. We need the number of jobs, which is one job, divided by the time it takes them, so 8 days, multiplied by the number of workers, so 5 workers. All right, so this is the rate that they gave us in the first part of the sentence. Now we're making the assumption that the rates are the same. So the second part of the sentence says how many workers. So we're looking for the number of workers. Let's let that be W. Would it take to do 3 jobs? All right, jobs go in the numerator, so I have 3 jobs this time. And then we have 7 days to do those 3 jobs, so the time is 7 days. Right, now we have one variable, so we can work this proportion basically. Let's write it with just the numbers. We have 1 over 8 times 5 equals 3 over 7 times W. We know that cross multiplication, 1 times 7W is 7W. And then 8 times 5 times 3, well, 8 times 5 is 40, times 3 is 120. And divide both sides by 7. These will cancel. And it looks like W is equal to 120 over 7 workers. Now this doesn't come out even. This is actually equal to 17 1/7 workers. which for the purposes of a math problem in a textbook, this would be perfectly fine for an answer. But if you're in real life, you don't want that 1/7 of a worker working. So we would probably go up to 18 workers are needed to get all those jobs done. But for the purpose of a math question in a textbook, this fraction is acceptable, unless the objective is to decide whether you need rounding or not.